From boxes of flowers to boxes of chocolate, Easter's been keeping businesses busy. Forget the old days of putting quarters in the parking meter. Here in downtown, it's credit or debit. Take a look at the damage on this building. The wall charred, the roof completely taken off. Crews have had to put up a fence around here because they don't even know how sturdy the building is. New dirt, new stands, new fans coming out to the Farmer City Raceway. Champaign City Council ready to say goodbye to brick roads, why people here on Elm Street are up in arms. With no end in sight to high grocery prices, some economists are saying you might just want to put something back. Pick up a copy of the DI. They say it's free, but in reality, students will be footing the bill come next year. People upset about the tax increase had a chance to voice their opinion at a special city council meeting today, but if we learned anything at that meeting, is that the mayor and city council members aren't changing their minds.
Looks like your average campus apartment, but in reality, it was just over a week ago that the building next door went up in flames.
I was shocked. I left most of my stuff back here. I mean, it was a 5-day trip, so I didn't take much with me.
Anand Chawla and a couple of his roommates were away in Miami when the fire took place. Chawla says their apartment escaped with some smoke damage and a hole in the wall from firefighters. Overall, he says they were pretty lucky.
Anything could have happened, and I guess they told us that the fact that we weren't here and the fact that everything was shut, like the doors were shut, the windows were shut, was probably a good thing for the apartment.
Firefighters say somewhere inside this wall is a firewall, and that's what prevented the apartment complex next door from burning down.
An older firewall in place on the east side of the building is what stopped devastation like this from entering the bank adjacent to it. Deputy Fire Marshal for the Champaign Fire Department, John Kohler, says walls like that are required by city code.
We did have 2 firewalls there to the adjoining structures, and they certainly played a role. There's no doubt about it. But we build buildings with these codes in mind, with firefighting in mind.
Kohler says you certainly can't discredit firefighters' efforts. The hole in the wall in Chawla's apartment was proof that quick thinking also played a major factor.
There's no real good way for us to look and say there's a firewall there and know that, and there's certainly no way to readily know if there is fire in that wall. So the way it's done is fire personnel will remove some drywall.
In total, 11 engines, 3 truck companies, 2 squads, and a few commanders were dispatched to the scene. Had firefighters not done all they did on that fateful Wednesday, Chawla and his roommates might not be so lucky. In Champaign, Matt Mershon, UI7 News. It's the unofficial St. Patrick's Day of pot smoking. April 20th has been long synonymous with marijuana nationwide. Even here on the U of I campus, stoners alike are lighting up. A junior at the U of I agreed to talk about his participation in the holiday as long as we concealed his identity.
Seeing as I'm a regular smoker on most other days, 420 is not exactly the most different day for me, but I do enjoy smoking a little bit more than usual.
He describes the average 420 holiday as hanging out with friends, getting the munchies, and eating a lot, and
smoke a lot of weed. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much the majority of what I'm doing on 420.
However, according to state and federal law, weed is illegal, but that's not stopping people from doing it in the privacy of their own homes.
Police say if the last 15 years are any indicator, there shouldn't be any green on Green Street this 420. And because of that, University police say 420 will just be like any other day.
Lieutenant Skip Frost of the University Police says if the holiday is mellow, there shouldn't be a need to beef up patrol.
The people who always want to complain about it, the reason we're having contact with them is because their behavior has not been responsible and has brought our attention to them by their behavior or their actions.
Frost does warn, however, if the mellow holiday gets rowdy, there are consequences.
As soon as I put the uniform on, I enforce the laws as they are set forth. Now, the laws that they're set forth is this is a violation of the criminal code. It's against the law.
Marijuana violations range from misdemeanors to felonies. However, the police have the final say. If you're caught smoking weed with no prior violations, you could just end up with a ticket. In Champaign, Matt Mershon, UI7 News. It's not always easy to get to the library. Some people with physical limitations might not be able to get there at all. That's where Frances Hunt comes in.
You get into people's homes, chat with lovely people who are extremely appreciative of the service.
She's the coordinator of the Champaign Public Library's home delivery service. Hunt gathers books for home-ridden patrons, puts them in bags, and then helps deliver them. She even has a rapport with many of the people she helps out.
How's your arm doing?
It's almost healed.
Oh, good.
Can you believe that?
Yeah. Smaller.
Hunt says she learned about the volunteer opportunity through the senior center. When she heard the word library, it clicked in her head.
Wherever we've lived, I've always volunteered in different areas, but the library always seemed to appeal to me. I don't know why.
The Champaign Public Library used over 300 volunteers last year, and they say that's vital to keep checking out those books.
And Hunt is a vital part of the library. Volunteer coordinator at Champaign Public Library, Eva Liu, says she goes above and beyond.
She's very caring, and she has the knowledge to know what each patron wants.
Of course, Liu says there's always more space for people like Hunt at the library.
If they just want to moving around, that they could help us to show books and they could push the car. So we have lots of opportunities for people who would like to contribute to the library.
In Champaign, Matt Mershon, UI 7 News.